राधानाथ स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चात्य देशतारिणे। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितमेन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सखगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सखगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पदे गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसूते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ईश्वरा परम कृष्णा सच्चिदानंद विग्रह अनादिरादिर गोविंदा सर्व कारण कारणम। हरे कृष्ण। By Lord Sri Krishna's causeless mercy, we are nicely studying Bhagavad Gita every day, and we have finished about 11 slokas in the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the most confidential knowledge. And I welcome all who joined today for the first time. And I'm covering all these slokas from different chapters, so you will not feel anything you are missing here actually. Bhagavad Gita in 18 chapters, 700 verses, Lord Sri Krishna is giving all the knowledge what we need to deliver ourselves from this material world, this ocean of material miseries. Asubhat. Here everything is Asubhat. Asubhat means it's full of miseries. So we need to realize that fact from this Bhagavad Gita, and then we will be actually able to lead a life in Krishna's world, full of happiness, full of bliss all the time. So Krishna is teaching us very clearly in the second chapter that we are Atma, we are soul, we are not the body, we are soul. And we need to understand that fact, and then we need to free ourselves from the modes of material nature, and then we will be able to go to Krishna's world. But only 1 in 1,000 will take this path. That is the statistics given by Krishna. Everywhere when we study everything, we will look at the statistics. So here Lord Sri Krishna is giving us the statistics. That Manushyanam Sahasresu. Manushyanam Sahasresu Kaschit Yatati Siddhaye. Siddhaye means perfection. To achieve perfection, to free ourselves from this material veil. So that's what Siddhaye. So Yatati means endeavor. That's what endeavor, Yatati. So Manushyanam Sahasresu Kaschit. Kaschit means only one. So Sahasresu means 1,000. Sahasra means 1,000. So 1 in 1,000 will endeavor for perfection. So even those who are endeavoring for perfection, Yatatamapi Siddhanam Kaschin Mam Veti Tattvadaga. Only one will know fully about Krishna, completely about Krishna. So we are very, very fortunate, there is no doubt about it. When we are able to study Bhagavad Gita every day, Krishna's supreme knowledge, Krishna has given us for us in this world, the Dharma. This Bhagavad Gita is called Dharma. This Bhagavad Gita is called Yoga. So this Yoga, this Dharma, if we have it in our life, if we understand, if we get this knowledge, and then if we are able to act as per Krishna's instructions given in this Bhagavad Gita, so then we can become a yogi. So yogi is a person who is freed from this dualities in this material world. So in this material world, everything is dual in nature. So we easily get affected every day by the results of all our activities. So every activity has got two types of results. One is actually the one which we want, which we like, and the other one is the one which we don't want, we don't like. So, but Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, na pragrishyet priyam prapya. That means one should not be happy so much when we get what we want. Na pragrishyet priyam prapya. Nodvijet prapya cha priyam. So we should not be agitated when we get what we don't want. So that's why na pragrishyet priyam prapya nodvijet prapya cha priyam. Sthira buddhi. So then only we have steady mind. So then only we are not confused. Asammuda. We are not bewildered. So sthira buddhi asammuda. So that person is the knower of Brahman. Brahmavid. And that person is situated in Brahman. Brahmani sthitaka. So Brahmavid, Brahmani sthitaka. So that means in this material world, we should not be disturbed by anything, whatever happens. Because we need to understand that we don't belong to this material world. And we should not waste our time going after material things in this material world. Because we don't own anything in this world. We say that owner of this and this property is so and so. No, nobody owns anything. Everything is owned by Krishna. Because we are here only for a temporary period of time. That's it. We take birth and identify ourselves with this material body and try to accumulate things, material things in this life, and then try to, we think that we try to establish ownership and proprietorship and all such things. But at the end, we will leave everything and then go. But always here, whatever we are working, whatever results are coming, everything is actually owned by Krishna only. So that way, we are not doing any activity and we are not creating any results and we don't own anything. We need to understand this fact very well. Very, very well. It's a very important science. So, Krishna is teaching us very clearly in Bhagavad Gita that we are not the doers. We are not doing anything. Everything is done by three modes of material nature. And Krishna is also saying that na karma pale heturbu. That means never consider yourself the cause of the results of your activities. Na karma pale heturbu. So that means we don't make any results. We don't create any results. So we don't do anything. So prakriti kriyamanani gunagi karmani sarvasaga. Ahankara vimudatma kartakam iti manyati. See, a foolish person due to ahankara, due to false ego, thinks that I am doing it, but we are not doing anything. Everything is done by three modes of material nature. And we are not the cause for the results of the activities also. So, na karma pala hetru, na kartritvam, na karmani, lokasya srajati prabhu, na karma pala samyogam. So we don't create any activity, we don't do any activity, and we don't produce any results. Very clear. Just in one sloka, Krishna is teaching so clearly. Na kartritvam, na karmani, lokasya srajati prabhu, na karma pala samyogam, swabhavastu pravattade. So, that way, when we don't do any activity, when we don't create any results, how can we claim the results? That's where we are making mistakes. So that way we try to establish ownership here in this material world, and we think that I own this, I own that, I am so much rich, I have this much or that much. We don't have anything. We have only Krishna with us. Krishna is only our permanent relative. Krishna is only with us. We own only Krishna, not anything else. So that way, we need to understand this fact from this Bhagavad Gita, that our stay in this world is very temporary. And just it's matter of time, everything will be completely finished. But before that happens, we should effectively make use of this opportunity. Because only 1 in 1,000. First of all, there are 8.4 million species of life. In that, getting a human life, human body, they do getting an understanding of this much, like studying school education, because to study Bhagavad Gita also there is some kind of education is needed. So, and when we get this opportunity, it's very, very rare. Very, very rare opportunity. Because even among humans, that's why Krishna said that Manushyana. So getting a human body out of this 8.4 million species of life is extremely rare thing. But among the human, among the human bodies, only 1 in 1,000 will take this path. So that means we are very, very rare species. Basically, Krishna's opportunity. Krishna has given us this opportunity. So Krishna's causeless mercy. So we have to effectively make use of this great opportunity. And then knowing very well that we want only Krishna, we don't want anything else in this material way. So that way we will work for Krishna. We'll produce results by Krishna's mercy. Even though we work for Krishna, and the results will come by Krishna's mercy, and we will use those results in Krishna's service. So that way we are not attached. We are not attached to the material sense objects. We are not attached to anything in this material world. We should not be attached at all. We should be attached only to Krishna. So that way we will we'll go to Krishna. Krishna's mercy, we will go to Krishna. And Krishna's mercy, we are studying and understanding Bhagavad Gita. So everything is happening by Krishna's causeless mercy. Mat prasadat, by my mercy. That's what Krishna is saying there. Mat prasadat. So by his mercy, we are getting this knowledge. And we are understanding every day. And we are very sincere. That's why every day we are studying Bhagavad Gita. That's why we are making progress every day. And every day we are able to study means becoming success every day. So that means each and every activity, for every activity to become a success, totally there are 5 factors, which I have explained many times in the past. So for us, Krishna's mercy, every day that factors are, all the 5 factors are coming together, because this activity is a success for us. Because when we are studying Bhagavad Gita every day, we are making good progress, we are understanding, and this is a very big success. What we are doing right now is not an ordinary thing. This is Krishna's causeless mercy. So what we are getting this opportunity to study Bhagavad Gita, and we are studying every day, and we are making progress. So this is not at all an ordinary task. So we have much more to do. By Krishna's mercy, it's going to happen. There is no doubt about it, because Krishna is the one who gives all the energy what we need. So Krishna supplies everything what we want. Krishna takes care of us completely. When we submit ourselves unto Krishna completely, then Krishna will be able to do that. So that way we are only blocking by not submitting ourselves to Krishna. Because Krishna is ready to serve us. Krishna is ready to take us back to his well, Goloka. But we need to submit ourselves to Krishna. That's why Krishna said that, Yeyata mam prabatyante tam sataiva bhajamyaham. To the extent one surrenders unto me, to that extent I also worship him. So Krishna is also worshipping us. So we are very fortunate to study this Bhagavad Gita, and we are making good progress, as I said. And each and every chapter we are understanding, Krishna is teaching us lot of knowledge, lot of information. Because Arjuna is asking so many nice questions. We know what is Sankhya Yoga, there is Jnana Yoga and Sankhya Yoga, both are same. And we know what is Karma Yoga, and Karma Yoga, Buddhi Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, all the yogas are same. Every yoga is same. So we need to know Bhagavad Gita and follow everything Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. That means we are doing all the yogas. So there is nothing like, is there a specific chapter? Can I study the 12th chapter only Bhakti Yoga and do Bhakti Yoga? Or can I do only Dhyana Yoga, study the 6th chapter and only do Dhyana Yoga? Not like that. So Krishna's mercy, we need to study the entire Bhagavad Gita completely and follow what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita fully. So that way we have to do yoga. That's it. That's why Krishna says karma yogena yogina. And in many places Krishna simply uses the word yoga only to refer to karma yoga. That means the activity we are doing, action we are doing, because we have to act. We have to act. And that means we need to know how to act. So Krishna only is teaching in Bhagavad Gita about how to act. Kim karma kim akarmeti kavayopyatra mohitaha. So tatte karma pravakshyami. I shall explain to you what karma is. Tatte karma pravakshyami. Yajnatva mokshase asubhat. So by knowing which you will be freed from all miseries of material existence. If we simply know how to act, we are freed from the miseries of material existence. Yajnatva mokshase asubhat. So that means we need to teach the children. We need to teach straight from the school how to act. That's what we need to teach. Which school is teaching about how to act, how to do our duty? Which school or which college, which subject they are teaching? So this is an art of performing our duties. Yoga karmasu kausalam. Kausala means it's an art. So yoga karmasu, the art of performing our duties, that should be taught. We should know how to act. So evam nyatva kritam karma purvairapi mumukshubhihi kuru karmaiva tasmatvam purvaihi purvataram kritam. So in the past, many people have acted with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Evam nyatva kritam karma purvairapi mumukshubhihi. They've got liberation. They already got liberated, basically. So purvairapi mumukshubhihi. Guru karmaiva tasmatvam purvaihi purvataram kritam. So you perform the same way how they did in the past. That's what Krishna is saying. Guru karmaiva tasmatvam purvaihi purvataram kritam. So the rishis, the yogis have set examples for us. So they have already acted with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, and they are all with Krishna now. So for us, now is our turn. We need to act. We need to act with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna's mercy, we are getting this knowledge. That is the main thing. So now each and every sloka we need to study and understand. Every day we should actually study and understand. That is the main thing. So the main task, the primary job, the primary duty, or the primary action in our life is actually what we are doing right now. Right now, all of us are acting actually. This is an action. We are getting ready, sitting here and connecting and Zoom and listening, studying and focusing. These are all actions, activities. We are all acting now. And this should be our primary task. What we are doing every day is a great thing, and I'm very happy that I'm seeing the same devotees coming every day, and we are really becoming very sincere and serious in this effort, and we are becoming a very strong, powerful team of Krishna's devotees. And that way Krishna is giving us even more and more opportunities to serve him, to please him. That's what will take us away from this material world, material bondage. Because this is what is going to help us to cut our attachments to this material world. Asanga Sastram. Asanga Sastra means the weapon of detachment that can be gained only by attaching ourselves to Krishna, by getting the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, by serving Krishna, by studying this Bhagavad Gita and spreading Krishna's message. So this action we have to do every day very, very nicely. So then by Krishna's mercy, we know in our day-to-day life, every day, what we should do, how we should, because this time is very precious. Time is not gold. There is a proverb I have heard, time is gold. Time is Krishna. Aham kalosmi. Krishna said that aham kalosmi. Aham kalosmi lokakshayat krit samahartum iha pravriddhakam. So Krishna has come here to destroy this world. As at time, everything is destroyed. As the time goes by, we cannot gain back the time. We cannot get back. We cannot go back to the past. So Krishna is the time. So we cannot lose Krishna. So we cannot miss Krishna. So that means we need to act. So the time is very, very precious. So that way, with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, we should know every day what we are doing, what we should do, how we should do. So how much time we should sleep, and what we should eat, and how many times we should eat, and how much we should eat. All those things are very important because Krishna is teaching very clearly in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is teaching us very, very clearly. Na ati asnatastu yogosti na chaikantam anasnataga na cha ati swapna silasya jagrato naiva charja. So one should not eat too much, one should not eat too less. One should not sleep too much, one should not sleep too less. Na ati asnatastu yogosti. Ati asna. So one should not, so this is very important. Very, very important. So that means with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, we should be able to do this. We should be able to regulate all our activities. Yuktahara viharasya yukta chestasya karmasu yukta swapnava bodhasya yogo bhavati dukkha. So if we do that, then all our distress is gone. That is what is called yoga. Yogo bhavati. So when we are doing yoga that means many times I have explained, this sloka also I have quoted many times. And many times in Bhagavad Gita I have explained that yoga means achieving the status of equanimity. That means being equal in both success and failure. If we are not able to regulate our activities on a daily basis, each and every activity, if we are not able to regulate, then how are we going to achieve that equanimity? It is not possible at all. So that means we should be able to control our life. We should be able to gain the time. We should be able to effectively use the time. We should be able to plan our daily life. Everything should be possible with the help of this Bhagavad Gita knowledge. Because Krishna in Bhagavad Gita is teaching us, giving us all this knowledge completely. So in the 9th chapter, now Krishna is teaching us that under his direct supervision, this entire world, this Jagat Vipari, this entire world is Mayadhyakshena Prakriti Suyatesa Characharam Hetunanena Kaunteya Jagat Viparivartate. So by under Krishna's direct supervision, this entire world is working. So now in this sloka, what we studied yesterday, Krishna said that when Krishna descended in human form, fools will deride me. Avajananti mamuda manushim tanum ashritam. Because they don't understand my superior nature. Parambhavam ajananto. Parambhavam ajananto mama bhuta maheswar. So what is Krishna's superior nature? Parambhavam, that Krishna is the supreme controller of all living entities. Mama bhuta maheswaram. Everything is controlled by Krishna. So Krishna is the source of everything. Everything emanates from him and everything is controlled by Krishna. And Krishna is the Maheswara. Krishna is the Parameswara. So Sarvaloka Maheswaram. So that's what Krishna is. So if you understand this knowledge, then we will actually worship him. That's why Krishna is saying that anyone knows this will worship me. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattaga sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante ma. I am the source of everything. Everything emanates from me. If anyone knows this, will worship me. Iti matva bhajante ma buddhabhava samanvitaya. So now in the next sloka, what we are studying today, Krishna is teaching us in the sloka number 12 in the 9th chapter. Mogasa moga karmano moha jnana visesataha rakshashim asurim chaiva prakritim mohinim sitaha. So Krishna is talking about such fools who deride Krishna. When Krishna comes into this, when Krishna descends in human form, avajananti mamuda manushim tanum asrita. So Krishna is teaching us, Krishna is talking about these fools. Even in the 7th chapter also, in one sloka, Krishna told us very clearly that they will not surrender unto me. Namam duskritino mudaha prabatyante naradamaga mayaya apakrita jnanaga asuram bhavam ashitaga. So those fools, those miscreants, namam duskritino mudaga, those foolish miscreants. That's what namam duskritino mudaga prabatyante means. Na prabatyante, na mam prabatyante, mam na prabatyante. That means they don't surrender unto me. Namam duskritino mudaga prabatyante naradamaga. Maya apakrita jnanaga, their knowledge is stolen by Maya. Apakrita. So they partake the nature of atheistic demons. Asuram bhavam ashita. So the same thing Krishna is teaching in this sloka. Mogasa, bewildered by desires. That's what asa. Asa means desires. So baffled in their hopes. So bewildered by desires. Mogasa, moga karmano, bewildered by their activities. So because they are connected, they are attached to the results. So bewildered by their activities. So in this material world, when we have material desires, when we are doing material activities, so all the time we meet with failure, and every time we are bewildered. So that's what moga, mogasa, moga karmana, moga jnana visesataga. So, and bereft of knowledge, there is no knowledge. So because having no knowledge, moha jnana visesatagam. So they will actually take the nature of rakshashim and asurim. So demoniac and atheistic nature. So that's what demoniac and atheistic. Rakshashim asurim chaiva prakriti mohinim sritaha. So they will take that kind of nature. So bewildered. So they will take shelter unto that kind of mohini nature, basically bewildered all the time. So they really don't know what is going on. So they are actually in their life full of miseries only. As Krishna says about the atheistic demoniac nature in the 16th chapter, Chintam aparimeyam pralayantam upasitaga kamopabhoga parama etavatiti nishchita. So aparimeya means unlimited. Chinta means worries. So they have unlimited worries. Chintam aparimeyam pralayantam upashita. Until the time of death, they have so much worries. They are not happy at all. Because those kinds of atheistic demons, they cannot be happy. So ajnascha asraddha danascha samsayatma vinashyati. A person who is ignorant and who is doubtful in this Bhagavad Gita, so he is a samsayatma. He's a doubtful person. He's vinashyati. So he's destroyed. Nayam lokosti naparo nasukam samsayatma. Not only in this world, he won't be happy in any world. So no sukam, nasukam. They won't be happy at all. That is the main thing. So the real happiness only can be experienced by devotees. By getting this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, by surrendering unto Krishna, by doing everything in relationship with Krishna, then only we are going to get happiness. Like we are all happy right now. Every day when we study Bhagavad Gita, when we are connected Bhagavad Gita, we are so much happy. So by Krishna's causeless mercy, we have successfully finished this sloka number 12 in the 9th chapter today. And we will discuss if any questions are there. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Guruji. Yeah, before moving on to the questions, I just want to make an announcement from Timur Prabhu. So, as we all know that you are all part of some WhatsApp group that is happening because of the Facebook ad that Timur Prabhu is sharing. So that's the only way how we are being able to share the message of this Bhagavad Gita class to the new audience and to the new devotees who are looking for Bhagavad Gita. So one way to spread this message more is if whomever who saw the Facebook post, who is part of that Facebook post, if you can comment, share it in your Facebook profiles, in your circles, then we can do a lot of service to Sri Krishna, and we can reach to a lot of devotees who are looking for this Bhagavad Gita class and looking for this beautiful knowledge which is the most confidential knowledge, like Guruji always says. So moving aside, we have one question from Tamil Professor Shankar Guruji. So he
Yes.
asked, he is basically asking what are the 5 factors of success. I think he is asking about the Panchabhuta. So what are the 5 factors of success, Guruji?
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Yeah, I have explained this in the past also many times, but it's a very important question. This is not about Panjab Bhuta, it is about the 5 factors. In the 18th chapter, Krishna is teaching that Panchaitani Mahabaho Karanani Nibodame Sankhe Kritante Proktani Siddhaye Sarva Karmana. Siddhaye Sarva Karmana means the success of all activities. So there is Panchaitani Mahabahu Karanani. Karanani means causes, factors. So totally there are 5 factors for the success of each and every activity. And you hear that from me, Niboda me. So I'm telling you, I'm explaining you. See, Krishna is so much merciful. Krishna is giving us all this knowledge. Where will we go and find out this kind of knowledge? Where will we get this knowledge? For any action to succeed, there are 5 factors. So what are those 5 factors? Adhishtanam tata kartha karanam cha pratak vidam vividascha pratak chestah Devam Chaivatra Panchamam. So Adhishtanam. So that means the field of activities. So that's what is the Adhishtanam. The field of activities. That includes our body also. So when we want to do an activity, so I always give the example like when you are performing a surgery, an operation procedure so a surgery. So once that place is the operating room. So that is the field of activities. And everybody is there with their bodies there. So that is the field of activities. Adhishtanam. Tata karta. Karta is the performer. So performer is the basically the doctor who is doing surgery. So performer and all the other everyone who is assisting the doctor, the assistants. So everybody is karta, performer. So but we know that every activity is happening by the 3 modes of material nature, that we know. But still here karta is the performer. So adhishtanam tata karta. But patient is lying on the bed, doctors are there, doctor is there, and everyone is there. And then we need all the instruments to do the surgery. We need the knives, we need all the things, we need the electricity, we need everything should be working. So then only they can do that surgery. So that's what karanam cha pratak vidam. Karanam means various instruments. Pratak vidam means various, different instruments. Karanam cha pratak vidam. So they also need to be there. If they are there, then only the operation will be a success. Now, then only the operation can happen. But the 4th factor is vividascha pratak chestah. So various endeavors. So everybody have to, the kata is there, performer is there, and the place is there. So operating room, everything is set. Doctors are there, patient is lying on the bed, everyone is there. And all the instruments, everything is there. Everything is perfect. But if the doctor is simply sitting idle, if he is not willing to do anything, so then the surgery cannot happen. So everybody have to do their job. Everybody will be working, running, doing this, all the various endeavors. So there is the vividascha pratak chestah. But at the end, what the doctor will say after that surgery, sometimes we have heard this as a joke, correct? Operation success, but patient died. So for the patient to survive, the 5th factor should come together. So who is that 5th factor? What is that 5th factor? That is Devam Chaivatra Panchamam. So Devam, Krishna. Krishna also has to be in line. Krishna has to agree. So then only every action will succeed. So totally these 5 factors. This I'm just giving an example as an operating room, the surgery. But any example you can take, anything we do, we can just put this. Anything we do. If you're writing an exam, we can do that. Even our Bhagavad Gita class, every day we are doing, all the 5 factors are coming. Sometimes my laptop creates problem, but still I try very hard and everyone sends message and things like that. We try, we put a lot of endeavors. Then Krishna's mercy, it works and then we do it. So that way, in order for this action to succeed, every action to succeed, all these 5 factors have to come together. And of course, here Krishna is a very important factor. So if Krishna wants only, that action will happen. If Krishna doesn't want, even if he put endeavors, even if all the things are there, everything is there, that action will not succeed. So that way, we should understand this Bhagavad Gita, and we should know very well what Krishna wants us to do. So we should do only what Krishna wants. So if we do what Krishna wants, we are always going to achieve success. For example, like today, it's a very nice announcement Shiva Prabhu made. And Timir Prabhu, Shiva Prabhu, they are doing great job. And all the devotees, all of us, Shankar Prabhu, all of us, now we are so many devotees. We are trying to identify more devotees. And these are all actions, activities. We want to achieve success in these activities. So all these things are happening because we are all understanding Bhagavad Gita and we want to please Krishna. So I'm sure this is going to succeed. There is no doubt about it. Because this is my experience from the beginning. From the beginning, when I started studying Bhagavad Gita, following Bhagavad Gita, teaching Bhagavad Gita, whatever I wish, everything happened. Everything. So that's what is happening right now. This is why this was my wish earlier. So it's happening, Krishna's mercy. Because we from the beginning, we tried many ways to do this Bhagavad Gita. Now we are very nice, like Zoom, just connecting. We are able to join. But the same Bhagavad Gita, like 10 years ago, every week I was teaching, and we have to spend every month about close to $1,000, about 70,000 rupees in Indian rupees, like every month, because we were connecting using their phones, using a macro like VoIP procedures, protocols. So we just run a macro and which connects everybody on their cell phone. We don't know whether they are listening or not, because it just the call goes there. In fact, we have connected almost 1,000 people at a time. At that time, 1,500, 600, so many calls we connected. But since we put so much efforts, at that time, now Krishna's mercy, we are able to now this Zoom, WhatsApp, Facebook, YouTube, all these things have come together for us to help ourselves to serve Krishna much better. So because our action is now we are successful and we are able to make progress because we never stopped. We were always doing this. So that way, so I hope now Shankar Prabhu understood, everyone understood about these 5 factors. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Guruji. Honey Pepper has asked a question. Could you please explain about the meaning of fruitive activities and the culture of knowledge which are spoken of in today's reading? Thank you.
So, fruitive, explain the difference between fruitive activities and the culture of knowledge.
Which are spoken of in today's reading.
So, knowledge means only Bhagavad Gita is the knowledge. So, as long as I am concerned, I don't know in what context they are speaking, but knowledge is Bhagavad Gita. Anything other than that is not knowledge. So, Krishna says very clearly, Ajnanam yatato anyata. So, all these things are knowledge. Anything is ajnana. Ajnana means ignorance. So, this Bhagavad Gita is the knowledge. And fruitive activity is actually when we are attached to the results, when we do the activity, that is called fruitive activity. Because we want the fruits, we want the results. So we are attached to the results. So that is what is known as fruitive activity. Anybody who is doing the activities with attachment to the results, those activities are known as fruitive activities. But when we do the activity without attachment to the results, that is a real karma. The karma wants to, that's why Krishna is saying that Tyaktva karma palas sangam nityatrupto nirasrega karmani pravittopi naiva kinchit karoti. So one should give up the attachment to the results. So that is the activity, action. That is the real action. But the fruitive activity is when we are attached to the results, we call it as fruitive activity. So when we get this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, this Bhagavad Gita knowledge helps us to understand, realize that we are not the body, we are the soul. And this Bhagavad Gita knowledge also helps us to understand very well that we are struggling and suffering in this material world, temporary miserable world. So this Bhagavad Gita knowledge also gives us the knowledge about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. So, and we know that Krishna is staying in our heart. Krishna is there, very close to us. He's staying in our heart, and Krishna is there everywhere. So if we connect with Krishna, we are going to definitely worship Krishna when we have this knowledge. There is no doubt about it. Because Krishna is saying that anyone who knows without any confusion that I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is the knower of everything. And he will worship me in all respects. Yomam eva masammodo jnanati purushottamam sasarvavid vajati mam sarvabhavena bharava. Sasarvavid. He is the knower of everything. And he will worship me in all respects. So that way, we are getting the knowledge, and we will not do any fruitive activities. We will not go after the results. And we will do all the activities only for Krishna. So that way the knowledge is Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is the knowledge, and acting as per instructions given by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita is the real karma. That's what we are supposed to do. And Krishna is there to help us all the time so that we can progress. Hare Krishna. I need to send the links for chanting and also the Srimad Bhagavatam. Today I will definitely send. Yesterday I couldn't. Today I will send. Okay, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, sure, Guruji. We have a question from Shravani. So she asked, how to love Krishna unconditionally? I mean, how to build that love towards Krishna?
Very nice question, Mataji. Excellent question, actually. So how to love Krishna unconditionally means, love means anyone, when you love him, it's unconditional only. That is called love. So even in this material world also, when we love someone, we don't expect anything in return. If we are expecting anything in return, so then that is not called love. So that love, actually, if we love Krishna, so that means when we know about Krishna, when we know more about Krishna, when we know that Krishna is our constant companion, Krishna is there with us all the time. And when we fall in love with Krishna, so that means we are ready to give up everything for Krishna. So Matchitta, Madgata, Prana. That's why Krishna is saying. So if you love someone, all the time we'll be thinking about that person only. All the time the mind will be going and thinking about only that person only. So that way, if you love Krishna, we will be thinking about Krishna all the time. And Madgata Prana. So dedicate their lives unto me. That's what Krishna is saying. That my devotees, they always think about me, dedicate their lives. So they are ready to give up their life for me. So dedicate their lives unto me. That's what Krishna says. So that kind of unconditional and unalloyed love comes when we have this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So when we have this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, so then we understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So then we worship him, then we feel him, we realize him, we will fall in love with him. So that is going to happen just with this knowledge. That's what is very important. We need to know. We need to know our Supreme Lord. Our Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna, who can be worshipped by any relationship we can have with Krishna. So we need to know that. So how will we know? Only through this Bhagavad Gita only we know that. Because Krishna is actually destroying the darkness of ignorance with the shining lamp of knowledge. Tesam evanukam partha aham ajnanajam tamaga nasayami atma bhavasto jnana deepena bhasvata. So to show my special mercy to my devotees, I destroy the darkness of ignorance by the shining lamp of knowledge. And if we remember Krishna all the time, if you worship Krishna, if you think about Krishna all the time, so Krishna is saying that I will quickly come and deliver him from the ocean of material miseries. That's it. So, Mrityu Samsara Sagarat, Bhavami Nachirat Partha. So, Tesam Agam Samuddarta, Mrityu Samsara Sagarat, Bhavami Nachirat Partha, Maya Vesita Chetasa. So, that way this unconditional and unalloyed love will develop once we have this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. That's what is very, very important. So, Krishna says very clearly, anyone who knows, they will worship me. Yomam ajam anadim cha veti loka maheswaram asammodaga samatyesu sarva papagi pramuchidi. A person who knows that I am the unborn, I am the ajam, anadim, I have no beginning, and I am the maheswara, I am the supreme controller. So he is not confused at all. He will worship me in all respects, and he will be freed from all sins, all the sinful reactions. So that way, in fact, for this question, I want to also add with one thing. When we study this Bhagavad Gita, I'm going to send definitely today for sure about the Srimad Bhagavatam link. When you try to listen to that, Krishna is glorified like anything in Srimad Bhagavatam. So our love towards Krishna will increase so much when we listen to Srimad Bhagavatam, when we read. So that is the best way to do that. So when we get this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, so then Krishna's mercy, we will be able to get all this knowledge and Srimad Bhagavatam, everything. Then we will fall. Definitely, reading Srimad Bhagavatam is the best way to develop an unconditional, unalloyed love towards Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Guruji. We have a question from Adrian Convert Card. He asked, when we say that we need to move above the materialistic importance, isn't it also true that we are doing injustice to what is called as, I think, Sanshar Dharma? He said Sanshar Dharma. Some say that the yogi can afford to say that we don't have any attachment. But if the same is said by a grihastha, is it not an excuse to cover their incapability to achieve the best for their family? I think it is samsara dharma.
Okay, Prabhu. Actually, the devotee is a devotee, Prabhu. That's the main thing. We cannot differentiate a devotee as a sannyasi or a grihastha, or it is not possible. Devotee who loves Krishna is going to love Krishna whatever situation he is in. That is the main thing. Because we are going to depend on Krishna. That is the main thing. So that way, definitely as a grihastha, there are some household responsibilities are there that he has to do it for Krishna. Again, we need to know that he has to do it for Krishna. That is the main thing. So everyone in this world, this varnashrama is 4 varnas and 4 ashrams. So these 4 varnas are created by Krishna. Krishna says very clearly that Chaturvarnya Maya Srishtam Gunakarma Vibhagasaga Tasya Kartaram Apima Vidya Akartaram Avyam. So I have created these 4 varnas. And then 4 ashrams. That's Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyasa, all these things. So they are all there. And the main important point here is that studying Bhagavad Gita, understanding Bhagavad Gita, following Bhagavad Gita, doing everything as Krishna's instructions given in Bhagavad Gita. So if a person is having the full knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, then it doesn't matter what is his varna or what is his ashram, nothing matters. So because this knowledge is the key thing, having the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, then whatever we do, we will do it right. So because we will fall in love with Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Guruji. There is a devotee named Raji. She asked that, Hare Krishna, I have joined first time today. I want to learn from chapter 1. Could you please help me? So we have a WhatsApp group. I'm sure you are present in that WhatsApp group. So we are uploading the daily classes in that WhatsApp group. So even if you miss any class after now, you will get that YouTube link. You can go to that and watch the current videos. And also for the previous videos, you can watch in the same channel. And also there is another channel for which you can check the WhatsApp group that you are present. In that, there will be a group description. In the description, there will be a YouTube link. If you go to that, you will see chapter 1 to 7, of which Guruji's lectures of chapter 1 to 7. Of course, you can listen to whichever class you want. And also do subscribe and do share with your fellow mates who are looking for this knowledge. Thank you, Raji. I think we are to the end of the questions, Guruji. I'll unmute devotees. There are some new devotees as well. I'll unmute some regular devotees and then come to new devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Vijay Prabhu, you can talk with Guruji.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.